she can't finish. You're going with me or without me?
I saw exactly what I've always felt about Donnie Weeboy. And I saw that girl can't protect her child.
Margaret, Jimmy's her boy.
He's your grandson.
We're trying to locate a Donnie Weeboy. He married our son's widow. Got our grandson with him.
You let it be known you're looking for a wee boy. I'll find you.
We thought we'd see Jimmy, since we're in the neighborhood.
Since you're in the neighborhood. Go careful. Where in the hell are we? We came to see our grandson.
My boy doesn't have to answer to you. And we don't have to answer to you. Whoa. Come with us.
No, he'd kill me. Him and his mother.
Your grandson. He's a wee boy now.
You're with me on this, right?
I'm right behind you.
He hit Lorna. You hit your wife. Like...
Don't start what she can't finish.
And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. And I am Shanrae. All right, welcome. We are at our second quarter for this year, 2020-21. So for the month of August 2021, I'm going to be expounding and speaking and teaching on the topic for the month. And so again, this is a free forum, a free for all type of platform. So if you have any questions, if you have any type of scenarios, you are welcome to, and I will directly stop and I will answer your questions. But welcome. We're going to go on and get started because we only have 30 minutes, literally. We only have 30 minutes. So I'm working some different platforms, and those that are in tonight, thank you for joining on tonight. Again, every Tuesday and Thursday nights, 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be expounding on the topic of the month. So before we get started, I need to go on and I need to share this screen with you. Again, I am working several I'm working several different things at this time, so please bear with me as I share this screen this evening. Okay, here we go. So this is Counsel Today with Shanrae, and I'm going to be moving this along. I am a Christian counselor. As you can see, I'm a degree counselor, and I acquired my degrees from Oxford University. So I am a degree counselor. I'm also a Christian counselor. So I want to go on and I want to open up with my website disclaimer, and then we're going to be moving on. Please excuse me. I'm moving between two different screens. So I'm going to be hold on. I'm trying to see if you have any questions. I will address you on this evening if you have any questions. But it's so good to see you all on tonight. All right. So my website disclaimer. It says, please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information that's provided by myself or any other counselor or counseling services are subject to the limitations of current and the available material. But the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the individual or the client. Information online is designed to be helpful, but however, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that clients such as yourself will consult another physician, specialist, or a religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. So again, I got the disclaimer out of the way. I am a Christian counselor, as I stated earlier. And so my scripture for this month, for this quarter, it's coming from Matthew 7:12, the Amplified Bible version. And it says, "So then, in everything, treat others the same way that you want them to treat you. For this is the essence of the law and the writings of the prophets." In other words, the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So we're going to move it along. And I really want to adjust this because I'm looking back and forth like this. So this evening, our topic for this month, and I'm going to blow this up just a little bit more so it can be side by side. Let's see if I can make it a little larger. There we go. And I'm going to, let me take this ticker off. I thought I took this one off. Let me hide that. All right. So the definitions for this evening, and I am talking about the topic. Let me go a little bit more. The topic for this month is called self-centered or self-preservation. This is a really, really, really tight topic for the month, which a lot of people will have some questions or some scenarios that y'all want to talk about, or you want to, but this is something serious. Are you self-centered or are you self-preserved? So let's start with our definitions. Number one, self-preservation. Let's start with that. Preservation of oneself. It means that preservation of oneself from destruction or harm. Number two, a natural or instinctive tendency to act so as to preserve one's own existence. And for self-centered, the definition for self-centered is concerned only with one's desires, one's own desires, needs, or interests. So this month, I'm going to be asking a series of questions. Are you more so self-centered, or are you self-preserved? So let's move it along because this 30 minutes actually is going to go by very quickly. Now, and as you can see the topic, self-centered or self-preserved. This month, this quarter, I'm going to be talking about two different type of movies that recently came out. The first one is Netflix's Sex Life, and this is only for grown people. Anyone under the age of 18 do not watch this. This is only for adults. But Netflix, one of their new miniseries is called Sex Life, and it's an eye opener when you watch this. I always interpret things from a psychological standpoint, from a counselor standpoint. And so when I saw the series, I wanted to do a teaching on this, Sex Life, Netflix's Sex Life. And then I wound up watching a movie called HBO's movie called Let 'Em Go. Called Let Him Go. And when I saw this movie, and again, I always look at things from a counselor's point of perspective or from a psychological standpoint. When I saw the movie Let Him Go, I said I have got to do a teaching or reflection on this too, and I decided to do a comparison with both of these, one the movie and the miniseries, and a lot of it raised questions about: are you self-centered or are you self-preservation? And so these are the questions that I'm going to be asking a lot throughout this month, throughout this teaching. Do you find yourself more on the self-centered side or the self-preserved side? So let's get started. And then again, this is an open platform. So again, if you want to ask any questions, please feel free to ask questions. I will stop and I will observe. So I wanted to get into our into a deeper form of a definition of self-preservation. And I'm going to take this off because I don't want it in the way. All right. Self-preservation. This is a more definitive definition of self-preservation. And it says that self-preservation is a part of an organism's instinct that demands that the organism survives. They survive pain and fear or parts of this mechanism. So pain causes discomfort so that the organism is inclined to stop that pain. And we all are like this. If we're in pain, we don't want to be in pain. So we're going to do what we need to do to stop that pain. Take some temporary medication, do whatever stretches you need to do, go to the doctors. We want to stop that pain. Fear also causes an organism to seek safety and may cause a release of adrenaline, which has the effect of increased strength and heightened senses, such as your hearing, your smell, and your sight. So among all of these, all things, the conscious mind fears the unknown, and death endures as the greatest unknown of all. And whoever quoted that, it was an anonymous quote. So self-preservation may also be interpreted figuratively in regards to the coping mechanisms that one needs to prevent emotional trauma from distorting the mind. Now, I want to give you an example of what I just read here about the fear part that causes an organism to seek safety. I recently just came back from vacation in Tennessee, and I'm going to open this up a little bit so you can see me a little bit more. But I recently came back from a family vacation in Tennessee, and we were up in the mountains, and we was at a cabin. I normally stay at a different mountain when we go to Tennessee, but we stayed at a new mountain, and the cabin was beautiful. I loved the cabin, but going up that mountain was different because this mountain, the roads were a lot narrower, so you can really only just get one car up at a time or one car down, and it was really it was terrifying because you could see down when you're going up the mountain and going down. You could look out the window and see that mountain, see all the way down, and well, instinct will tell you to close your eyes, but I'm a different type of person. I was just like, I just started praying, Jesus. Every time I went up and down that mountain, I was like, Jesus, Lord, keep me. I don't want to go this way. And just like I don't think I've ever experienced fear like that before in my life. And then when we were up in the mountains, I experienced, but I didn't know. My husband, thank God, he kicked in and he saw it. But a bear was following me. I was taking some stuff out of the car. We had just got there, and I never heard the bear. The bear was quiet. Never heard the bear, but the bear was like maybe 5, 6, 7 feet behind me, and was following me into the cabin because I had an armful of food. If I would have saw or heard that bear behind me, I probably would have did everything they tell you not to do and run. They say don't run. I would have ran. I would have hollered and screamed and all of that. And if anybody knows, you cannot outrun a bear. So this is a part of our self-preservation. Fear, when it kicks in, the first thing we want to do is we want to do anything we have to do to prevent harm to ourselves. All right, so let's move this along. Okay, so tonight's key points. Number one, tonight's key points are, and let me open this up so you all can see this a little better. Tonight's key points for our topic, self-preservation, self-centered or self-preservation. Number one, it says, are we all becoming more self-centered? And that's really a good question to even ask yourself. Are we all becoming more self-centered? Number two, what are the reasons for this shift towards more individualism and self-centeredness? Number three, what about the rise in narcissism? And you know what? I did not. I'm going to go back and I'm going to research narcissism. But narcissism is another form of egotistic or being self-centered, but it's more in depth. And I'm going to get the proper definition for Thursday night for narcissism. All right, so let's move this along. According to Ronald E. Riggio, according to him, and he's a PhD. He has this lesson and this teaching. He has a long-term research, and it's called the cutting edge leadership. So, starting with number one, the first question he's talking about: are we all becoming more self-centered? So, he said a recent study that was published in psychological science suggests that people across the globe are becoming more individualistic over time. Individualism, as opposed to collectivism, relates to how independent and self-reliant and self-centered people are. So collectivistic people and societies tend to be more communal and family oriented and to work together instead of independently. For instance, they have a little animated cartoon out called The Croods, the Croods, the Croods. And what the father always talks about in both number one and number two is that we are family and we stick together. So this is what collectivism is about. It's about being a family and sticking together and working together. But individualism, couple this research, individualism is the actual opposite of that, where people, they don't care, they could care less about working with other people. It's more like it's about me and what I want, and that's it. So if we couple this research that shows a rise in narcissism, and this suggests that people are becoming more isolated and more focused on themselves rather than other people. And we see this type of stuff on the news. We see it in movies. We see it on television. We see it in our own job workplaces. We see it even in church. We see it in all of our areas of our lives, that people really are more individualistic. They're more narcissistic. They're more self-centered. So let's move on to number two here. Okay, and so Dr. Ronald Riggio says, what are the reasons for this shift towards more individualism and more self-centeredness? So as you can see here, it says that one trend is that as countries become more economically developed, so as we become more economically developed, there tends to be a rise in individualism. More affluence leads to a greater sense of self-reliance and a detachment from others. So another possible explanation proposed by this researcher here, Dr. Riggio, is that an increase in communicable diseases such as STDs, and fear of contracting diseases may be fueling the sense of detachment from others. Now, that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about. That's a whole nother topic, which actually you need to be more self-centered in that area with protecting your life. For those, that you can't even say that I'm married anymore, because whether you're married or not, you have to really, really know who you are being intimate with, who you can trust your personal body with. So that's a whole different story. So let's move this along, because our 30 minutes is going to be up. And it says, well, what about the rise in narcissism? And this is again Dr. Riggio talking about what about the rise in narcissism. So it says that social media, while it connects us to other people, may actually lead to a greater self-centeredness as people strive to make their presence known. Oh my gosh. Much of social media is all about me. Yes, it is. Oh my God, overly doting helicopter parents may also be creating greater narcissism in children. Yes, that is factual. Finally, society, with its emphasis on celebrity appearance and narcissistic role models and leaders, may be playing a part in the rise in self-centeredness. Now, I talked about this back a little while ago. We have seen over and over again in the media about certain qualities or certain characteristics that certain celebrities that they present. And a lot of it is narcissism and self-centeredness. We've recently seen a very famous woman who literally was ending one relationship that she had been in for a few years, and they blended their families together. They never married, but they were cohabitating as if they were a blended family. And before I can't even say the ink is dry, but before she can actually move them out of the house, jumped into a whole nother relationship with a former lover. All I keep thinking about, because she has children, the other person has children, the person that she just got rid of has children. I'm like, with this person, this woman, everything we're seeing is about her, what she wants, her needs. And I'm going to open this up because I can say this, because it is a form of narcissism, it's a form of egotistic behavior, it's a form of self-centeredness and selfishness. But I'm like, did she even consider her children? Because she is the primary parent of her children. So they have to now, and everybody's involved. Not only is she getting over the fact that she's no longer with that ex, but her children have to get over the fact that the person that they were referring to their father or stepdad is no longer a part of their lives. But mama just jumped in a whole nother relationship. She just jumped in a whole nother relationship with somebody else. And I'm like, and we know that she hasn't even had time to heal. She hasn't had time to heal. Have you given your children opportunity to heal before you bring another uncle up in their home? Because that's the old school statement, uncle. Uncle. They have so many uncles. But that's a classic form of self-centeredness, selfishness, narcissism, ego. It's all of that rolled into one. And when you have, now if your kids is grown, you do what you want to do. But when you have minor children that you are responsible for, you have to be a little bit more careful about what you present to them, because there's certain things that they're going to have to learn how to get over, and you don't want to carry this dysfunction. You don't want that carried over to your children. And so we're seeing this all over the place. We're seeing this form of self-centeredness, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy, but there is a remedy. There is a remedy. First of all, number one is we gotta own up to whatever that maybe isn't healthy. Own up to it and seek help. And then once you seek help, continue to work towards whatever things that are put in place, strategies that are put in place to help you become better and more functional. And good evening, CJ. Good evening. I didn't even see. Yes, the bear, CJ, the bear. I'm sorry, I didn't see the comments there. Because I'm on 3 different channels: Twitter, YouTube, as well as Facebook. But yes, we have seen that, and that's not healthy. Yes, we want to be happy. Yes, we want to, but there are different. We have to transition well. I know there's an old saying, in order to get over, the best way to get over an old relationship is to get up on a new one. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. And and you have to try to figure out, well, why do you need someone else to validate you, to make you feel, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic. So we're going to move this along. But before we move this along, I want to show this. I would like to show this because this is sex life. This is another part of what I was talking about. So let's add this in right now. Uh-oh.
Brad, the person who gives you security can't be the same person who gives you the thrill.
Billy never even mentioned you.
Maybe there's a reason for that.
Unless.
Unless.
Where's my baby?
I love my husband. I can't imagine my life without him. I'm just not sure that this is who I'm supposed to be. I'm questioning everything.
Everybody wonders, what if?
The sex sucks. The romance quotient is non-existent. I've been thinking about him.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
There was a time in my life when I felt free.
I want to show you something.
I keep my eyes wide.
And then one day, I've become this whole other person. I can't help wondering, where did that other girl go?
I keep the end.
But I can get that feeling again. Every time I close my eyes and go back to one of those nights, I feel it. It's real. And it was a whole other me.
I walk the line.
Who are you?
I miss it. That part of me I thought was over, but now it's screaming from inside.
And you thought that I wouldn't love you because of it.
You are playing with fire.
I think you're enjoying this way too much.
Put down the Brad matches now.
I never had the wild experiences you did. I want to have them with you.
I've been trying not to think of you for 8 years. Tell me you never think about me.
Because you're mine.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I walk the line. I walk the line.
So that was very interesting. When I watched it, it is very intense, and this Counsel of the Day is not for anyone 18 and under, because there's going to be some real life like things that I'm going to be talking about on this month here. So the question again is, for the month, is self-centered. Are you more self-centered, or are you just self-preserved? Are you just preserving yourself? And this is reality, because there's a bit of both in everybody. It might be more of one thing than the other, but this is some things that we need to ask ourselves in order to improve our life and improve our world. And whoever we choose to do life with, our family members, of course, we want to make sure that we're not tilting more on one side and the other, but we want to make sure that everything we do is with a good balance, a good healthy balance, so we are more functional than dysfunctional. Yes, everybody has dysfunction in them, but that doesn't mean we have to stay dysfunctional. Once we recognize it, if it's something, especially toxic behavior, we have the strength, we have the grace to get better and to overcome. So I want to let's ask this question right here. So what? All right. So if individualism is associated with economic success and a self-reliance, then what is the problem? One outcome of a society shifting towards individualism is a lack of empathy. Caring about ourselves and our own welfare, but not caring much about other people. So this leads to greater economic disparity and a lack of concern for the less fortunate. Another concern is the end of, let me move this along. Another concern is the inability to cooperate with other people. We are already seeing this in our polarized political system. Yes, we did. Our former president, that was really a huge display of this, where people and parties with opposing views are unable to work together to solve problems. I was just away in Tennessee, And there were a whole lot of little stores down there with our former president's name on it. And it symbolized everything that our former president stood for. What did he say? Let's make America great again. That's horrible. That's horrible. This is exactly what this is talking about here. You know, and inability to cooperate with other people. Where people and parties with opposing views are unable to work together to solve different problems. Here's another thing. And oh my goodness, I see where I just did a typo on here. Another thing is this could become a greater concern in the future. Particularly when it comes to dealing with disasters such as global warming and refugee crises. Individualism fuels a me first attitude that makes it difficult for people to recognize the plight of others who are less fortunate or to embrace self sacrifice for the collective good. Now, we are not, you know, we were not created to be like that, to be self centered, to just think about ourselves. We were created to be humane, to again, that golden rule, you know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that golden rule. But we're starting to see more people that they can care less about other people. It's like, whatever, the heck with them, as long as I get what I want, when I want, how I want it. And they don't care how the way that they are affects other people. But I'm telling you, there is a better way. Because unfortunately, people that are like that one day are going to run into a situation, a scenario in their life and in their world where they're going to need somebody there for them. You know, you could have all the riches, you could have all the gold, the property, and all of that. But one day, I know a lot of people of elite status. And one of them have always, she's an older woman, and she's a billionaire. And one thing she would always say is that you can have all the money in the world, and money could buy a lot of things, but money can never buy. It cannot buy true love, happiness, and it cannot buy good health. It cannot buy good health. You could be as rich as you want to be and whatever, but let something happen where you get ill. You can buy caregivers and stuff, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have good, proper care, especially when you're fully down. So we are created to be humane, to be helpers of each other, and to live a balance. No, you can't be too much one way and too much another, but we're going to delve into that a little bit later on. We are 30 minutes is up. We are coming to a close, and then I'm going to resume on Thursday night again. I want to leave you all with this quote. I'm going to open this up so you can see it a little bit better. I want to leave you. The quote says that the strongest human instinct is self-preservation. It is, and this was quoted by Iris Watts. Okay. All right, and so we're going to move this along. For those fellow theorists or counselors, I started giving my way. Thank you all. Thank you for participating in Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, August 2021. And all right, so if you wanted to rewatch this, or you want to see any of my former Counsel of the Days, subscribe, like, and share to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. And just feel free to watch whatever series and just take it and learn from it and enjoy. Also, I'm a professional one-on-one counselor, and I do one-on-one counseling services. So if you are interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger or at my Shanrae Price at Gmail email, because I am a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in reaching your life's goals and your life's dreams. If you feel free, if you feel to bless me with a coffee blessing, if you feel that this teaching has helped in a positive way or blessed your life, please feel free to donate a coffee blessing to my Cash App at Shanrae Price. $ Shanrae Price. And that's all for this evening. We're going to resume. We're going to pick up on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from 9 to 9:30. I hope that you've enjoyed this the first part of our teaching. We're going to do this from every Tuesday to Thursday night for this month of August. I hope you enjoy. God bless you and good night. Good night. Good night. See you Thursday.